Good morning. Ooh. What's up? Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. What's up, Brian? What's up, OG? How you doing, man? Should I start Flowers, Shakir, or Worthy? Also, Knicks or Murray? I'd go Kyler. I'd go Flowers and Shakir. What's up, Ben? Hope you have fun at the game. I'm going to go ahead and play Jonathan Taylor over Hunt. What's up, Spock? How we doing? Morning, y'all. Good morning. Good morning, Brady. Ladd or Chase Brown for the flex? Ladd or Chase Brown for the flex? I would go Chase Brown. I'm adjusting my rankings as we speak for the Patreon. As we speak. Good morning, everybody. Oh, I gotta get the live in 1 minute thing off the screen. We don't need that no more because we're live. Good morning, Tyron. Good morning, Silver. Good morning, Tasha. Good morning, Caitlin. Good morning, Latrell. Hope you guys are all doing well. Good morning. What's up, KOL Gaming? And then Josh C. I'd go Hearts. Gimpy, how you doing? Further, I do. Let's build my lineup. Could you pick one quarterback, wide receiver, running back, and one flex? Yeah. Kyler. Oh, no. Kyler, Brown, Terry, BTJ, Gibbs, Achan. Would it be crazy to start Chase Brown over JT? Yeah. Yeah, it would. I do think that's a little bit crazy. Now, when I say that is it impossible that Chase Brown outscores Jonathan Taylor? Of course, it's not impossible. All right. Hurts. All right. Just trying to fix the fucking rankings. So many guys are out this week. If you guys have Brian Robinson Jr., he was just ruled out, which is kind of shocking, honestly. I guess the tea leaves that I was reading didn't really indicate that was going to be the case. But maybe I wasn't reading deep enough, right? Maybe I wasn't diving too deep, you know? Thank you guys for the super chats. What's up, Emmanuel? How we doing, my man? Would you start Chestnut over Charbonnet? Yeah. Just because I think he will get more touches than Charbonnet. Again, do I love either guy? No. They're both last-ditch type of efforts. Julius Chestnut isn't a great player. Charbonnet is a better player, but I think you can make an argument that Chestnut could see more touches than Charbonnet. Seattle's in a pretty solid game script. The Titans are playing up against the Patriots, so they should be able to run the ball. So I would lean with Chestnut, especially since Pollard is kind of banged up. So that's kind of how I feel. Again, I wouldn't say it's like a resounding either way, though. They're going to be ranked very close for me. But yeah, I would personally play Chestnut over Charbonnet, personally. So that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. I got to bump Eckler up my rankings. I got to bump Chase Brown up the rankings. Throwing Chase Brown up. Throwing Eckler up. And it goes up and it's up. Can't throw him up too high, though. Zeke is out, which, I mean, no one gives a shit about. Tajay Spears is out. Jamal Williams is out. Kendra Miller's out. So the running back 2 on the Saints is probably going to end up being Taysom Hill. All right, 07, thank you for the super chat. Full PPR, pick 3, Tillman, BTJ, JSN, Cocker, McMillan. All right, so Brian Thomas Jr., it appears he is going to play. From what I have read, it appears that Brian Thomas Jr. is going to play. So that bumps Brian Thomas Jr. up, not to being like, oh, you got to start Brian Thomas Jr. over every single fucking player on your team, but I moved him all the way up until the 3rd tier. He's in the same tier with Devontae Smith, Josh Downs, Chris Olave, Zay Flowers, DJ Moore, Marvin Harrison Jr., and I'm putting him above Marv. So he's in that range. I feel very confident with BTJ. So I love Tillman. We already knew that. we're going BTJ, and then we're going to go JSN. So we're going to go with the first three. Uh, to be honest with you, I really want to play Coker because I really do like him. But again, I don't want to get too overzealous when it comes to Jalen Coker because while I do like the upside that he possesses, I don't want to sit here and just pretend like he's this guy that I really, 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 really want to start because we might just be a week early, right? We might be multiple weeks early, honestly, when it comes to him. So I'm definitely leaning the way of Tillman, BTJ, and JSN. That would be my order of who I played. Thank you for the super chat. Don't forget to drop a like, 100%. Make sure you guys like. And just so you know, if you're new here and I don't answer your question immediately, I answer all the super chats. And then once the super chats are done, I answer the normal questions. I appreciate you, whether you can super chat or not. You guys mean the world to me. It's just, for me, if someone pays money to get a question answered, they're just going to get an answer. That's just how it goes. But I do appreciate all you guys stopping by today. And I hope we all have some W's today. Hope we're all eating W's like our name was famous Jameis Winston. So I do. Fuck, I accidentally just logged out of Fantasy Pros. I don't know what my password is. Oh, Lord. Stafford or Kyler? I would go. Let me consult the rankings because I might honestly have Kyler ranked higher. I mean, I might have Stafford ranked higher. I just want to make sure. That is a toss up. My keyboard's not working. Does that happen to anyone? I have a fucking laptop, not a desktop, and sometimes my keyboard just doesn't work for some reason. It's super annoying. All right. Waddle, Mooney, Shakir, or Pittman. I would go Shakir. And then Kyler or Stafford. Gun to the head. I'm going Stafford. So Stafford over Kyler, and then Shakir for the receiver. Flex Hunt, Olave, or Chase Brown. That's tough. Personally, I'm playing Olave. I don't think you can sit Olave when he plays. I think Olave is one of those guys that you basically just lock into your lineup every single week, and you just kind of have to play him. So that's kind of my opinion on that. I think you would want to lock in with playing Olave. I think Olave has super high upside this week. The biggest problem with Olave is just kind of that he always tends to get hurt. And this is not me making fun of him. I said this in the wide receiver rankings video. So hopefully no one takes it that way. Like, oh, Nick, you hate Chris Olave because he always gets hurt. Now it just sucks. There are some guys that are like that where they just constantly get hurt. Chris Olave is one of those guys. Tua, one of those guys on my Dolphins. So I'm not someone that hates Chris Olave because of that. But yeah, it does suck, right? If you drafted him in fantasy, it's hard to believe he will ever probably play a full 17 game season because he just seems to always get banged up. But yeah, the answer's got to be Olave. I love his matchup this week. I love the fact that Olave is the clear number one there because Shaheed is now gone. Derek Carr is a better option than the other guys that they had. I understand Derek Carr isn't the kumbaya fucking savior of this team, but he is better than what they were rolling out. So I feel pretty good in saying that the answer would be Olave there. Next question from Monsieur FZ Ware says Judy, Bigsby, or Rome PPR flex. I'm going Bigsby. I'm going Bigsby. I'm going with the Tank Bigsby. I like Tank Bigsby a ton this week. I don't love Roma Dunze. I think Roma Dunze is the kind of guy that eventually he's going to end up being this like league winner, I think potentially. Now, will it be this year? Probably not at this point, but I do think Roma Dunze within the next, I would say probably next year, if they kick the can on Keenan Allen, I think Roma Dunze will be a league winner. I think I was just a year too early in being very optimistic that he would be able to take over from Keenan Allen. And if I'm being honest with you, I also thought Caleb Williams would look a lot more consistent than he has, which would elevate Roma Dunze. But right now, Roma Dunze is basically off of my off the table. Like I'm just not playing him. In 99% of scenarios, I don't think he should be even considered to be in your lineup. So we're gonna go ahead and go with Bigsby there. It sucks that ETN is playing because if ETN wasn't playing, it would be so much easier to just bang the drum for 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 Bigsby, but we're just not in that scenario right now. But I do think even with this scenario that we're in right now where ETN's playing, I still think I would lean with Bigsby. So that's going to be my answer there. Wesley, my man, thank you for the super chat. All right, I need 2 running backs and a flex. Devon Achan, Aaron Jones, James Conner, David Montgomery, 9-inch Nicholas Chubb. You got Olave, Deontay Johnson at wide receiver. Great question. Your flex 100% is going to be Olave. Deontay Johnson's a guy that I am not touching with a 10-foot pole right now. Deontay Johnson, based on everything that I've read, should not be played this week. He's going to be playing 10 to 20% of the snaps. And the report is that they kind of view him as the wide receiver 3 on the team, which should scare the ever living shit out of you if you are someone that is heavily invested into Deontay Johnson. Like if you have him on multiple different teams, I would be kind of panicking. I was someone that loved Deontay Johnson, so I'm a bit worried. Not full on panic mode yet, but this week you definitely don't want him in your lineup. And then it kind of moves into a scenario where it is definitely Olave. You definitely want Olave. And then for the running backs, I would probably go ahead and play Devon Achan for sure. And then I think I'm going to have to go with Aaron Jones. I feel as though Aaron Jones is going to have a much better game than he had last week. I know, Nick, last week you told me Aaron Jones was going to go crazy against the Rams, and we saw how that went, right? So sometimes you're going to be right, sometimes you're going to be wrong. But ultimately, here we got another good matchup. So I feel very confident in banging the drum for Aaron Jones. And I was someone that was very high on Aaron Jones in the summer. I'm going to continue to believe that. I love this Vikings team. So I'm going to go with Devon Achan, Aaron Jones, and Chris Olave. Thank you for the super chat. One second, guys. Next question. You lost Godwin and Diggs. That sucks. Najigba or Coleman? I would personally go with Najigba. Not Aaron. Amari Cooper is out, and that is going to lead to the number 1 corner on the Dolphins, Jalen Ramsey, being on Coleman. Now, is Jalen Ramsey the same Jalen Ramsey that he used to be? The answer to that is no, even as a Dolphins fan, even though we paid him a lot of money. And even though I wish that was the case, that is not the case right now. So I would probably just play JSN. Another week without DK Metcalf. I get the Seattle Seahawks absolutely fucking reeked to high heaven last week. They were terrible. They were a disaster of very large magnitude. So I don't want to sit here and just pretend like that didn't happen, right? I'm not going to lie straight to your face. But what I will tell you is I do feel pretty confident in Najigba over Coleman just because of the coverage that Coleman's going to receive. So that's how I feel. I would go JSN and pretty confident in that. Gustavo, my man, thank you for the super chat. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to you. Start Caleb, Nix, or Kirk? Great question. So a lot of posts lately to start Nix, but I have my doubts. And a flex, Zay Flowers, D-Hop, Dowdle, or Rashad. Lineup is Achan, Pollard, Scary Terry, Olave, McBride. Thanks. No problem. That's a great lineup. So I get where you're coming from, where a lot of people are steaming up Bo Nix. I am someone that has steamed up Bo Nix. I am someone that is very, very pro Bo Nix. I've been talking about him for the last couple of weeks. I've been talking about how we need to throw more respect on his name. And I just dropped my fucking phone. But what I will tell you is going up against the Ravens, like the matchup, sure. The Ravens aren't the best defense. I agree. But I think I would feel a little bit. This is tough. This is tough. I love the drum beat for Nix. I do agree with it. Question is, can you start Nix over Kirk Cousins is really the question, right? Because Caleb's kind of meh. I do like Caleb, but I've continued to kind of bump him down by rankings. I would go with Kirk Cousins up against Dallas. Kirk Cousins has been so inconsistent this season. So I guess if you were like, Nick, I want the most consistent player, I guess you would lean with Bo Nix. Personally, though, I would go up against Dallas with Kirk. And then you said you saw a lot of. Oh, no, I already read that. Sorry. I already read that. But I have my doubts. So I'm going Kirk. And then you got to play Zay Jones. I think a lot of people are going to panic off of Zay Jones because Zay Jones is a player that, not Zay Jones, Zay Flowers is a player that is very inconsistent. So that as a whole makes him very polarizing, right? Because some people don't like having this guy that you drafted super early that could end up being like this humongous fucking colossal bust every single week. But I'm still leaning the way of playing him over D Hop, who I don't feel very confident in, Dowdle or Rashad. I would just go with the guy that has been providing for my fantasy team, and that's D Hop. So I'm going to lean with DeAndre Hopkins there. So not DeAndre Hopkins. I'm going to lean with Zay Flowers there. I just said the wrong name. It's obviously going to be Zay Flowers. I feel very confident in that. Thank you for the super chat. I really do appreciate you. I appreciate all you guys. So Zay Flowers. And then we're going to go with Cole's Cash Kirk. Thank you, Gustavo. Culture Clips, my man. Thank you for the super chat. Shakir, Dobbs, or Madison. Need a flex. I love you. I love you too. Give you a nice kiss through the through the screen. Kiss me through the phone. No Diddy though. Shakir, Dobbs, or Madison. I'm going Shakir. The Dolphins normally struggle. Like, in my opinion, they're gonna struggle with Shakir. Shakir's probably gonna drop his testicles into the Dolphins' mouth. And as a Dolphins fan, this is probably gonna be like the game that is just the nail in the coffin for me mentally. Like, as a Dolphins fan, obviously, I don't mean like I'm gonna fucking jump off my roof or something, right? I mean, like, as a Dolphins fan, this is gonna be like the hey, it's over game, right? Like, hey, you know what? You could have talked yourself into it. You know, maybe they'll bounce back. You know, you could be like the Jets fans, be like, oh my God, we beat the Texans. We're coming back, right? I could talk myself into that if we beat the Bills, but I don't think we will. I think Shakir is going to legitimately destroy us. So I'm going with Shakir. Pick 2, Hubbard, JSN, Tracy. Tracy, Dobbins, Coleman. That's a great question. I'm going to go ahead and play. That's a good question. I'm going to go. I'm going Dobbins for sure. And then I think I'm going to go with Tracy. I like that matchup up against the Commanders defense. So Tracy and Dobbins for me. Very confident Dobbins, and I'm very confident Tracy too. Thank you for the super chats, fellas and ladies and gentlemen. Start Ferguson or Hawk. I think JL, thank you for the super chat. I think you have to go with Ferguson this week. I think you have to go Ferguson this week. Because with Hawkinson, we don't really know just yet what they're going to do with Hawkinson, right? I could see a scenario where Hawkinson is out there as the clear tight end 1. And what I mean by that is, like, he's getting his normal amount of snaps. He's out there playing like a Kelsey level workload, Bowers level workload, his own normal level workload. But I could also see him in. I could also see where he goes and plays a full allotment. I could also see him playing not enough snaps and he kind of screws you over. So for that reason, I think you kind of just have to lean with Ferguson. It might not feel the best playing Ferguson based on what he's done recently, but I do think there's brighter days ahead for Ferguson. So I'm going Ferguson over Hawk pretty resoundingly there. Next question there from Brandon Collins. Thank you for the super chat. PPR 1 flex. Should I cross my fingers on Brian Thomas Jr. or start Dobbins or Dowdle? Now, based on what I have read, Brian Thomas Jr. is going to play. So expect to have Brian Thomas Jr. against Philly. Now, Philly has been a better defense over the last couple of weeks when you compare them to the start of the season. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that they're this elite defense, that they are this best defense in the NFL, that you need to fear them. But I will tell you that they are a little bit better than we thought they were just a couple of weeks ago. So my personal lean here would be, if you want the most upside possible, you play BTJ. If you want to be safe, you play Dobbins. I'm playing Brian Thomas Jr. personally if it's my team. Go Dolphins. Let's go Blazing. I appreciate that. My tribal chief. Did you see that Roman got pinned by Solo? That was crazy. That was crazy. Any of you WWE heads, and I know people definitely don't. Not everyone likes the WWE, right? Because it's fucking fake, right? But I used to think that, and honestly, when I got like into high school, I was like, dude, who the fuck watches the WWE? Bunch of losers. But honestly, I really like the WWE now. That's pretty obvious by the fact that I have a belt behind me. All right, T Love or Love or T Law Love. Is BTJ safe to start? Yes. Also, is Elijah? I got Elijah Moore as an appointment. I love you. I love your content more than Flock Fantasy. We don't have to make fun of Mason. It's okay. I get that though. I do love you. I love everyone. You guys can, just so you know, you can watch every fantasy analyst and me. That's okay with me. I love you. I love you anyways. I would go with BTJ. I'm playing BTJ over Elijah Moore 100%, and then I'd go with Jordan Love. I don't love Jordan Love because I think he is banged up, and I think that's going to impact his play, but I am still going to play him. So we're going Jordan Love, and I feel pretty confident in Brian Thomas Jr. Blake Huss, thank you for the super chat. Pick 3, Achane, Hunt, Chase Brown, Montgomery. We're going to go with the first 3 and leave Montgomery as the odd man out. Now, I don't personally like the idea of sitting Montgomery in any given game, right? Montgomery's kind of a guy that you feel very safe with every single week. But when you have this many other good running backs, Montgomery kind of does just get put on the pine. Montgomery is close to Chase and or to Chase Brown, but I definitely lean with Chase Brown over him. I 100% lean with Hunt over him, and I 100% lean with Achane over him. So that's the way we're gonna go. Jonathan Brooks is expected to make his NFL debut next week against the Giants. So that's the most recent report. That is the most recent report. All right. So we're going to go Achane, Hunt, and Chase Brown. Steven, thank you for the super chat. Taysom Hill or Janu Smith? I would personally go with. So the way I think of questions like this is it's essentially like, what do you want? Do you want safety or do you want upside? Because Janu Smith's going to get you 8 points. I can basically guarantee you he is going to get you 8 points. Taysom Hill could get you anywhere from 8 points. He could get you 2 points, 1.0 points, but he could also get you 25 points, right? So that does kind of put you in a scenario where it's like, what do you do, right? What do you want to do? And for me, I think I want to go ahead and go with the upside play. So I would play Taysom Hill. That's how I play fantasy football. I talk about this all the time. I am not someone that most of the time is looking for, hey, let me get my 6 points. Let me get my 8 points with Janu Smith. I'm thinking, hey, let me get my fucking 25-point nuclear missile of Taysom Hill. Is he guaranteed to get it? Of course not, but he could get it. Now, I will be 100% honest with you and say this is also a matchup dependent thing. And what I mean by that is if you feel as though you are going to beat your opponent, you feel very confident that you have the edge over your opponent, there is zero need to play Taysom Hill because Taysom Hill can completely sink your battleship. But if you're in a scenario where you think you might lose or it's going to be a close game, then I would play Taysom Hill. If you think you're guaranteed to win, though, play Janu Smith. So my main answer, though, would be Taysom Hill. Stafford or Kyler? That's a good one. I really, in my mind, the answer is Kyler, but in reality, the answer is going to be Matthew Stafford. The Seattle Seahawks defense has proven to be nothing short of fraudulent. They have been so bad for a majority of this season, and I think this is going to be the game where they get really destroyed. I think Stafford's going to put up a huge showing. I think Stafford's going to be one of the better quarterbacks to start on the week. So I love Matt Stafford this week, and I have him strongly ranked ahead of Kyler. Killa Cam, thank you for the super chat. Flex Stafford, Mooney, Moore, McBride, Keon Coleman. I'm going to go ahead and flex. In a standard league, you're basically just saying, Nick, who's the guy that's most likely to score the touchdown, right? Because in standard, doesn't really matter how many catches you get. Doesn't matter at all because you don't get any points for it. All that matters is yards and touchdowns. I think I would play DJ Moore because I could see him getting a touchdown up against. I think he, out of all those guys, is the one that would be most likely to score a touchdown. I don't love any of these options in standard. Like, I think Coleman's probably the worst option. So I'm going to go with Moore. McBride hasn't scored a single touchdown on the season, I don't believe, off the top of my head. And if he has won. So I'm going to go ahead and go with DJ Moore. He's very up and down. So I'll give you 2 answers. If you want to be safe, play Mooney. I would go DJ Moore, though. I'm going for the huge upside. You're driving while watching? Dab God, be careful, bro. Don't fucking crash your car. Do not crash your car. Because the worst case scenario is, never mind. I was going to make a joke, but you're actually driving. So it wouldn't even be funny. But you guys ever seen those videos where it's like, you're driving, but you're listening to some song and you get in a car accident and then you have to like turn it off because it's like such an embarrassing song. That'd be like if your car crashed and like the cops are by you and you hear fucking me coming out the speaker. And hopefully that wasn't too grim for anyone. That was more of like a joke. But I always forget that on stream, most of the people that watch my videos are people that watch my videos, whereas the people that watch the stream, there's newer people and they're not ready. They're not ready to hear some of the stupid shit that I have to say. So I apologize. Eckler, and it was a joke again. So sorry, I shouldn't even have said it. Need Eckler, Coleman, Harrison Jr., or Tillman? You need two. I'm going Harrison Jr. and I'm going Tillman. I want to go with Eckler. Eckler's a guy that I've been jamming in my DFS lineup, so I definitely do like Eckler today, but I do think I would go with Harrison Jr. and Tillman. I'm hoping that Marvin Harrison Jr. becomes this super consistent piece for your lineups every single week, because if he does, that's a guy that's really going to be a guy that we're talking about like a top five every single week if he could just find consistency. He hasn't yet. Tillman, I think, is going to be very consistent. So I'm going with Tillman up against the Broncos, and then Maserati, Marvin Harrison Jr. In half PPR. Lexus, thank you for the super chat. Nick, is it crazy that I'm starting Tillman, Judy, and Njoku? I'm locking in a 3 wide receiver, 1 flex league, or should I switch Judy out for Douglas or Leggett? I think that's fine to do. Now, let's be honest. This is how I think about starting multiple players on the same team. If you think the Browns are a decent team, which I now believe, it's fine. If you're starting 3 guys on the Giants, if you're starting 3 guys on the Raiders, if you're starting 3 guys on just some random team off the top of your head that you believe is one of the worst teams in the NFL, then it's crazy, right? I don't think the Browns are in that scenario. I think the Browns with Deshaun Watson, if you said, Nick, I want to start 3 guys on the Browns, I would tell you that that is legitimately a certifiably insane move that should have you taken a one-way shot to the insane asylum. But I guess that isn't the scenario now, right? With Deshaun Watson, the matchup isn't the best. But if we're comparing Douglas and Leggett to Judy, I think I'd rather just go with the safety of Judy. I think this is going to be a game that you might actually see the Broncos, not the Broncos. Who are the Browns playing? Off the top of my head, I just fucking forgot. And people in college were like, Nick, how you not remember the Chargers? Up against the Chargers. I might have said the Broncos, but the Chargers, I like that matchup. I think the Chargers defense, I might have given them too much credit throughout the week. I may have given them too much of the Sukulamink special when they aren't as good as I thought. So I would probably go ahead and keep Judy in there. One second, guys. I'm just working on something on my phone. But it's okay. We're going to keep answering. We're so behind, I need to answer quicker. Tracy or Pollard, half PPR, Love or Kyler? Great question. I'm going Kyler over Love. And then the question is going to be Tracy versus Pollard. And we're going to have to go quicker because I'm behind. So I do apologize for anyone that recently super chatted. They're like, Nick, you're taking fucking 8 goddamn years, you asshole. I have Pollard ranked 17, Tracy ranked 19. I'm going to go with my rankings. No Tajay Spears. Pollard's been very consistent for us. We're going Pollard over Tracy and then Kyler over Love. Fett, thank you for the super chat. Tillman or Dobbs? I'm going Tillman. Ertz or Ferguson rest of the season? Ferguson, resoundingly. Bears or Bengals? Bears. Appreciate you. Got some of the best content out there in FF, my dude. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate you. I appreciate you all. Spock's dropping his rankings in the chat if you guys want to see Spock. I haven't been in the Discord recently because, again, I've just been so busy. I say it every single week and I feel like a dick, but I have really been busy. My job has been super busy recently outside of this. But yeah, make sure you guys check out the Discord. Spock drops all types of shit in there. That is very useful. Spock is a genius, live long and prosper. Beam me up, Scotty, I think is what they say in that. Tillman, and then Ferguson, Bears. And I do appreciate the kind words. It means a lot to me. Riaz, Knicks or Cousins? I'm also like 10 minutes behind on questions, so anyone that's saying something right now, I just won't see it. Knicks or Cousins? But I will see it eventually. Knicks or Cousins? Thanks. I'm going Cousins. I will tell you right now that I actually feel more confident in playing Hurts. I'm not Hurts. I do feel more comfortable playing Knicks over Cousins. I do think Knicks might be the safer play, but I'm going to lean with Kirk Cousins. I think Kirk Cousins is going to have a really big game this week. I am very much on the Kirk Cousins bandwagon going up against Dallas. I think this is going to be a big game for Kirk. Ricky, thank you for the super chat. JSN or Mooney? I would probably go ahead. JSN or Mooney? JSN or Mooney? Jackson Smith, Najigba. I got 26 for Najigba, 24 for Mooney. So we're going to go Mooney. I think it is close between the two. It is close because they're two spots different. But I'm going to go ahead and go with Mooney. Again, I do like that matchup a lot up against Dallas. I think the Dallas Cowboys defense is very overrated. So we're going to go with Mooney. Next question here. Colts up. This is our Colts. This is our team. Thank you for all you do. Let's have a good day. Thank you. Thank you. Moose. Anonymous. Did you guys see that they killed that fucking squirrel, guys? Isn't that messed up? They killed the squirrel. They killed that guy's squirrel. So messed up, man. I don't know why. I just randomly thought of that. But rest in peace to that squirrel. His name was like Peanut or something. R.I.P. Thank you for the super chat. Anonymous. Half PPR, Mooney, DJ Moore, BTJ. Should I play BTJ over Money or pivot to Dobbs if he's out? He's going to play. Or play Mooney. I want to be safe and start BTJ over Moore if he's active. Is Moore safer than BTJ? I think BTJ is safer than Moore. I would go Moore and BTJ. I strongly, BTJ is going to play based on everything that I've read. If for some reason he doesn't play, then the fake news got to me because every single report I've read on Twitter today tells me that BTJ is going to play. Don't believe everything you see on the internet, right? But those were some pretty credible sources, right? It isn't like I found a report from Jaguars fan 69 and gave that answer. So yeah, I'm going BTJ and DJ Moore. Personally, thank you for the super chat. Joey Ford, my man, thank you for the super chat. Tillman or Irwin, Bengals, PPR. Trenton Irwin or Tillman, definitely got to be Tillman. I am ecstatic to play Tillman this week. Again, I think Tillman is going to completely blow up just like he did last time out, and not in like a negative way blow up. I mean, like have that huge performance that we're ranting and raving about. So I'm in for, I think he's going to have a pretty big game this week. So we're going to go ahead and be in favor of Tillman. We're going Tillman for show. For show. Jimbo Fisher. Great name. Great coach. Dak Prescott or Jordan Love, groin and bad weather in Green Bay. Yeah, I am pretty worried about the groin injury, if I'm being honest with you. Like, I do panic somewhat about the groin, and I think it could 100% impact how he plays. So that's going to lead me to not really banging the drum too hard for Jordan Love this week and with the weather. So I'm going to go ahead and play Dak. I don't worry too much about the weather, but it's kind of more of the injury. So I'm going Dak. Nicky, Dak, Prescott, Steve, thank you for the super chat. Tillman or JSN? Tillman. Again, we're going to keep, this is going to be something that I talk about all the time during the year. We ride the hot streaks, right? When some player is on fire, you continue to play him. Unless, of course, the matchup tells you that it's basically impossible. Even then, I continue to play guys. We ride the hot streaks, and I believe that this is going to continue to be a hot streak for Tillman. When a guy is looking as good as Tillman is, when Jameis has looked as good as Jameis has, I think it would be silly to bench Tillman, especially for JSN, who's been so hit or miss. Notorious Soldier, thank you for the super chat. Wide receiver and flex, Sammy is family. Sami Zayn, baby. Hopkins, Waddle, Stevenson. Let's go Waddle and Stevenson. I don't think we should be super bullish on Hopkins just yet. Hopkins is going to get an increase in snaps, right? It's going to keep going up and up and up every single week. But as of right now, I don't think we should be super excited to play Hopkins. So for that reason, I'm out. Like the guy on Shark Tank. I don't remember the guy's name. Is it Damon who says that? Who's the guy that says it? For that reason, I'm out. Or do they all say it? I honestly haven't seen Shark Tank in a long time. Used to watch it all the time in high school. But we're going Waddle and Stevenson. Thank you guys for all the super chats. Jason, thank you for the super chat. Marvin Harrison Jr. or Josh Jacobs? Ravens or Saints? Great question. I'm going Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs has just been so good recently. And he also is they both have a pretty high ceiling, right? You could see Jacobs scoring multiple touchdowns. I could see Harrison scoring a touchdown and getting like 120 yards. But the floor of Harrison, we've seen Harrison put up nothing burgers. We've seen Harrison basically bend you directly over the table and screw you without the use of lube. So I feel a little bit more confident in Jacobs, and the Ravens or Saints. I'm going to go Saints. I do think Bryce Young is better than Bryce Young was early on in the season. I'm not ready to crown him after one Broncos game where he didn't even look the best. I'm just saying he looked better than the first two games where he was actually the starter before they benched him for fire crotch Andy Dalton. So I'm going to go ahead and play Josh Jacobs, and I'm going to go with the Saints defense. The Saints are a defense that I'm incredibly high on this week, and I think you guys should be high on them as well. I wish I were high on Pot News. I wish I haven't watched Key and Peele in a while. That shit used to be so funny, but maybe it's because I was younger when I thought it was really funny. Jacobs and Saints. You know what I watched last night? I watched the Jackass movie where it's like it's either Bad Grandpa or Dirty Grandpa. There's two different movies with the name Grandpa, and let me tell you, I thought that was so funny when I was in high school. I didn't think it was as funny now, but when the guy gets his wee wee stuck in the vending machine, that still hits. That's still funny to me. Two running backs and two wide receivers. Hunt, Jacobs, Eckler, Marvin Harrison Jr., Sutton, Reed, JSN. Great question. We're going Jacobs and Hunt. I think Eckler's the odd man out, not because Eckler's a bad play, just because I feel more confident in the other weapons. And then we're going to go Marvin Harrison Jr. and Jaden Reed. That's how I feel about that. Eckler's kind of just the odd man out with two other great running backs. And then Marvin Harrison Jr. is kind of a lock. And then Reed is like that super high upside play. Some people don't want to play Reed because of that. Some people might want to play Reed because of that. So let's go ahead and play Reed, Marvin Harrison Jr. Feel confident, Marv. Pretty okay with Reed. Love Hunt, love Jacobs. Very nice. Steeler Nation, thank you for the super chat. Steeler Nation. Make sure you drop your question in chat, Steeler Nation. I'll get to you. It's right here. Never mind. Does Eckler become a must start since Robinson is not playing? He does not become a must start, but he does become a guy that was like a fine flex, right? Where it's like, okay, if you want your 8 to 14 points, you play him. Whereas now he's like, okay, you're getting 12 and you could get way more. So not a must start. Not a must start by any means. Like, I'll just explain my rankings real quick. If you're on the Patreon, you get them. $7.50. I answer all questions on Patreon. All the rankings are up there, updated. So the way I view Eckler is he's in the range of Tracy, Dobbins, Connor, Montgomery, Eckler. He's in that range. So if you have, for instance, I'm just going to read the rankings off. If you have Saquon, Mixon, Kyron, Bijan, Henry, Hall, KW3, Alvin Kamara, Devon Achane, James Cook, DeAndre Swift, Gibbs, Aaron Jones, Jonathan Taylor, Kareem Hunt, Josh Jacobs, Pollard, Chase Brown, Tracy, Dobbins, Connor, Montgomery. Those are all guys that are above Eckler. So he's not a must start, but he is a top 24 running back. That's how I feel about it. That is how I feel. Like and subscribe. Make sure you guys do that. Xiao Jiang, thank you for the super chat. I apologize if I pronounced your name wrong. I am one of the worst at pronouncing names. Jaden Daniels and T for Christian McCaffrey. Thoughts? My thoughts are when you're trading for Christian McCaffrey, you have to understand that Christian McCaffrey has the potential to win you your league, but he also has the potential to come out not looking right, looking wrong, not running correctly, and potentially in a snap share. You have to understand that. Now, if you are willing to buy, with that being known, do it. If you are willing to buy, fully understanding that he might not be 100% what you thought he was going to be, but you know he has the upside, buy him. If you are pessimistic, if you are nervous, if you think, you know what, I cannot take on that risk, hold. Because T. Higgins, when healthy, is a top 24 receiver, and Jaden Daniels, when healthy, is a top 5 quarterback. Would I do the trade? Yes. But I want you guys to understand that, again, I have a very high risk tolerance. I am an incredibly risky player. I think when you gamble as much as I do, when you play DFS as much as I do, when you do all that, you become much more of a risky player. Back in the day, I was a very safe player. Wrap your team with a condom. Be very safe. Don't get overzealous, right? That's how I used to play, but now I play a lot different. So I would personally risk it for the biscuit and get McCaffrey. That's what I would do. That's what I'm doing. I'm a risky player. Mike, thank you for the super chat. I love your profile picture. Start one, Mooney, Worthy, or Coleman. I would go with Mooney. Worthy and Coleman are kind of in the same scenario. Not necessarily because I guess Worthy's going to get more targets, but Coleman could really easily get locked up by Ramsey. Worthy has been super hit or miss, whereas Mooney's been very consistent as like a top 38 guy, but has the upside to be like a top 12 guy weekly. So I would feel the most confident in Mooney, Rashad White, or Mooney for full flex, full PPR flex. My opinion on that is pretty simple. It's going to be Mooney. So that's how I feel. I feel pretty good about Mooney. Why? Because the Kansas City Chiefs going up against Rashad White are the best defense in the National Football League up against the run. They are the best team in the National Football League up against the run for fantasy football. Running backs struggle against the Chiefs. Now, does that mean that Rashad White is guaranteed to struggle? No, right? There are great matchups for guys where they fail. There are terrible matchups for guys where they absolutely skull fuck a defense, right? We know how fantasy goes. But Mooney's in a good matchup. Rashad White's in a really bad matchup. I'm going to trust Mooney. Going to trust Mooney. Thank you for the super chat. Jose as well. J.K. Dobbins or Jaden Reed. This is another one of those risk tolerance questions, right? Do you want to be risky or do you want to be safe? If you want to be safe, you play Dobbins. My lean would be Dobbins because I think Dobbins is pretty similar upside to Reed and is just a whole lot safer. So if it's my team, I'm going to go ahead and play. I'm playing Dobbins just because I view him as way safer. Reed has been super inconsistent. I worry about how healthy truly is Jordan Love. So all in all, we're going Dobbins. We are going Dobbins. Dobbins over Jaden Reed. J.K. Dobbins. Rutnips, thank you for the super chat. Shout out to Hank Hill, even though that's not Hank Hill in your profile picture. Question here, though. Your question is, dude, I don't know how to read apparently because I'm just typing everything in wrong. Bahama. All right, MHJ or Tyron Tracy, Ertz or Komet? Ertz over Komet, 100%. Komet, I like Cole Komet. I think Cole Komet is honestly one of the more underrated tight ends in the NFL. I think Cole Komet is potentially, like, in terms of skill, maybe like a top 8 tight end legitimately in the National Football League. Biggest problem for him is they have a lot of cooks in the kitchen. Another problem is the quarterback play kind of fucking sucks at times from Caleb. So that makes me feel real nicey about playing. Makes me real hesitant to play Ertz. So with that said, we're gonna go Komet. I meant we're gonna go Ertz over Komet, 100%. And then MHJ or Tracy, I would play Tyron Tracy personally. It's close though. I'm going Tracy and I'm going Ertz. Next question from Tyler, my man, Tyler Sperry. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you, my man. Survey says, next question. Coleman or Reed? Reed. Bears or Saints? Saints. Otten or Ferguson? Otten. Answers here. The reason why we're going Coleman over Reed. I mean, the reason why we're going Reed over Coleman. Coleman probably going up against my main man, Jalen Ramsey. Sure, they don't have Amari Cooper, and I do think the Dolphins are literally going to get destroyed. I don't even think this game is going to be remotely close. I'm being 100% honest with you when I say this. I think the Dolphins are going to get fucking torched. I think they're going to get eviscerated. I think it's going to be embarrassing, and I think it's going to make it hard to sleep at night after today as a Dolphins fan. But I do think Reed is the better play than Coleman. Saints over the Bears because I just like the Saints defense better matchup. And then Otten over Ferguson. That one's close, but I would lean with Otten. He's been on fire, 10 or more targets in back-to-back games. Should be able to replicate that this week. So we're going to go ahead and go Otten. Next question here from Roger. Thank you for the super chat. Tillman or Dowdle for the flex, 12-team PPR. No Eckler for some might really bump up Rico Dowdle. But for me, it's like, what was Zeke doing anyways, right? Zeke was kind of just there, right? He was Zeke. He might get a touch on the goal line, sure, but it's not like Zeke was out there going halfsies 50-50 with Dowdle. Tillman's been on fire. I just want to ride the hotness. Pause, right? I want to ride with the guy that's on fire, and that's what Tillman is. So we're gonna continue to bang the drum for the guy that is on fire, and that's what we're gonna do here. So we're gonna go ahead and play Tillman. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Handy ass shirt pocket. What a name. Handy ass as a shirt pocket. Never mind. Running backs and tight end dump offs all day in Tampa Bay. I agree. Possible. Very possible. I think Mayfield will be throwing quickly. I agree with that. What's your question here? Is Myers against Cincinnati will be a little bit easier? Where's your question? Unless I'm just blind. I don't see it. Drop your question in chat again if I can't find it. I'm going to keep scrolling though. Good luck this week. Thank you. Drop your question in chat because I can't find it. I'm legally blind. I am legally blind. Zach, thank you. Need one flex. Jalen Cocker. I barely knew her. ETN, Taysom, Elijah Moore. I'm going with Jalen Coker. I'm a cokehead. That's what the fans are called. And we ain't talking booger sugar. We're talking about Jalen Cocker. Dude, what the fuck? I can't read right now. Chris Olave, Calvin Ridley. So yeah, I would go with Coker. I think he's going to have a decent game. Now, again, I do think we want to pump the brakes on Cocker in a way, because if you're just thinking, oh, he's guaranteed to be like this top 24 receiver, he's guaranteed to be this, he's guaranteed to be that, you are just setting yourself up 100% to be incredibly disappointed. You are setting yourself up to get screwed, metaphorically. But we're going Jalen Coker. Big homie Debo, thank you for the super chat. What's up, Nick? What's up, my man? I appreciate you. Start Knicks or Stafford. We're going Stafford this week. I'm a big fan of Matthew Stafford this week. I think Matthew Stafford is going to put up a pretty big game here. I'm going to continue to rock with the narrative that Stafford is back now with Puka and Cooper Kupp. I don't think he's like, oh, he's a lock to be a top 5 quarterback. I would not go that far. I don't think anyone should go that far, but I do think in this game environment, I think he's going to have a pretty big game. So I'm going Stafford. Kiap, thank you for the super chat. Ravens or Rams? I would personally go with the. They both start with R. We're gonna go Ridley over Deontay Johnson, and then we're gonna go with Komet. No, we're gonna go Taysom Hill over Komet. We're gonna go Ridley over Deontay Johnson, and then we are going to go. Let me consult my own rankings. Ravens versus Rams. We're going to go Ravens. It is decided. We're going Ravens. We are going Ravens. Ravens, Ridley, Taysom Hill. Steeler Nation, thank you for the super chat. Coleman, Brian Thomas, or Dobbins for the flex. I'm going Brian Thomas. Do I think that Dobbins is safer than Brian Thomas? 100%, 100p. But we're going to go ahead and go that way. Yeah, that way. No, we're trapping out the segue. Ooh. Yeah, so we're going to go Brian Thomas Jr. Brian Thomas Jr. over Dobbins. Dobbins is safer, but I go Brian Thomas Jr. Thank you for the super chat. Oh, you're good? You don't have a question? You're good? Thank you. Thank you for the super chat then. Spock answered it. I appreciate that. We buy homes near you. Thank you very much, my man or my woman. I do not know your gender, but I appreciate you regardless. You know? I appreciate you. Next question here. So, kicker, Elliott, Group, Koo, or Richard? How do you pronounce, is his name Group A? I don't think I've ever, the thing is, like, when I'm watching the games, I have so many different games on. I watch Red Zone, 4 games on one TV, and then the Dolphins game on the other TV. So there's a lot of sounds going on. So I don't think I don't know his pronunciation of his name. So hopefully I didn't butcher that. Again, no one gives a shit, but hopefully I didn't butcher that. Personally, based on my rankings right now, I would think you would wanna go Koo. Yeah, you're gonna go with Koo. Koo has been pretty solid this season, and up against Dallas, I think it's gonna be a high scoring game. I think Koo's gonna get a lot of chances to kick field goals, so we're gonna go with Koo. We're gonna go with my old bitch lame, but my young ho Koo. Hey, Goat, Burrow, or Daniels? You gotta go Daniels. Unless you're talking about Daniel Jones, you gotta go Daniels. Jaden Stormy Daniels. Jaden Daniels is one of the best plays in fantasy football every single week. I play Jaden Daniels with my eyes closed. He is a start, must start quarterback every single week. You don't even have to think twice about it. So that's the way. I like it. We're going Jaden Daniels over Burrow. But if that's Daniel Jones, then obviously you want to go Burrow. Best of luck, Mew 3. That's tough. That is tough. There's a lot of injuries. Puka Nakua is a full go, according to that. All right. All right. Yo, Nick, Devontae Smith or Josh Downs? Um, so yeah, I would go. That's tough because I have both of these guys ranked pretty high. Have PPR. I think I go with Downs. I think I go with Downs just because I think Downs has a little bit more upside. So I'm gonna go Downs. It's very, 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 very close. Rock out with your cock out, my man. Thank you for the super chat. His question is Hunt, Tracy, MHJ, or Downs. I'm going Downs and I'm going Hunt. I think you really want Downs in your lineups. I think Downs has the upside to be a straight up league winner this week. I think Downs, or not like league winner, but week winner. And then I'm going with Hunt just because I think you want to play the Chiefs running back, whoever it is. It could be Hunt, could be fucking Carson Steele. Like when those guys were playing, you were kind of talking yourself into playing them, right? So it doesn't really matter the skill of the guy. It's just all about the situation, and Hunt is still relatively skilled. So Hunt and Downs in full PPR. Skilly, thank you for the super chat. Flex Tillman or Connor Tillman, Pitts or Ingram. Thanks, no problem. Common sense, my man. Thank you for the super chat. Jacobs versus Detroit or Tracy versus Washington. Otten or Ferg. Starting Hall, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Lamb, Olave is Juju droppable. Trade/hold Pickens. I'm holding Pickens right now because I think Pickens is in his best case scenario right now with Russell Wilson under center. I don't project, unless Russell Wilson gets hurt, knock on wood, unless Russell Wilson gets hurt, I just dropped my penny on the ground. Unless Russell Wilson gets hurt, I don't project them to switch quarterbacks. So that's going to lead to them being in a scenario where Pickens is going to be heavily involved every single week. So you're going to go ahead and want Pickens in your lineup. After that, I would say that Juju probably is droppable. I'm holding him on my teams just because I think that there is potential for better days ahead out of Juju. But if you want to cut him, go ahead. I don't think he's like a guy you need to roster. I'm going Otten over Ferguson. And then Tracy versus Jacobs. I think you have to go with Jacobs up against Detroit. I know Detroit is a good run defense, but it's going to be the weather's going to be a little bit messed up, so they're going to have to run a ton. So I think that's going to lead to a whole lot of running out of I think that's going to lead to a whole lot of running out of Jacobs. So we're going to go Jacobs. Jacobs over Tracy. Jacobs over Tracy. So Jacobs, Otten, and then I'm holding Pickens. Thank you for the super chat, Juan. Stevenson or Moore, full PPR. Good luck, bro. Good luck to you as well. We're going to go Moore. If you want the safest bet, play Stevenson. I think Stevenson is significantly safer than Moore. But personally, my team, I'm going to go ahead and play DJ Moore. But I do think Stevenson's safer. If you want the safer bet, it's Stevenson. We buy homes near you. Non-PPR star Kareem Hunt, Tony Pollard, Jada Reed. My other starters are JJ, London, and Monty D. The dub. Appreciate you, Nick. I appreciate you as well. Great question there. Great question. So my answer is going to be Kareem Hunt, Tony Pollard, Jane Reeder, Smith. If you have to play one non PPR, it's got to be Kareem Hunt. Again, Kareem Hunt has multiple touchdown upside any given week. He's the kind of guy that could score 2 touchdowns. You wouldn't be shocked. He could also rush for over like 150 yards. I don't think he's the same guy that he used to be. I don't think anyone's going to make the argument to you that he is the same running back that he used to be, but he does. He's in a great offense. Again, I get Nick Mahomes hasn't been great this year. Nick, you can't dick ride Mahomes. I'm not trying to, and I haven't been. I've been someone that is largely off of the Mahomes bandwagon, but this is an offense that can move the ball even if Mahomes hasn't looked as good. So I'm going with Kareem Hunt. I think that's kind of a no-brainer. And fuck, I just put in the wrong guy. I just put in the wrong guy like a buffoon. I did not mean to do that. I put Nick Chubb in my lineup, and I don't see it. Put Nick Chubb in instead of Chuba Hubbard. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and play Kareem Hunt there. And if you need two, it's Kareem Hunt and Smith. That is your answer there. Next question. Thank you guys for all the super chats. I can't link, but join the Discord. Yeah, make sure you guys join the Discord. Rock out. Thank you. Wendell or Cocker. If you want the safety, play Wandale. If you want the upside, play Coker. Gun to my head, I'm playing Coker. That would be my answer. Alex White, thank you for the super chat. Downs, Flowers, McConkey, full PPR, and why? I am going Josh Downs. Why? I don't like the matchup up against the Vikings, but Josh Downs has eaten every single game. He has eaten every single game with he has eaten every single game with Joe Flacco. That is why I think that Joe Flacco heavily elevates him into being a guy that you want to be starting every single week. That's how I feel about it. I think that he basically enters the range of not necessarily, basically close to must start. So yeah, I love Josh Downs. And I think you should as well. We're banging the drum for Josh Downs. We're banging the drum for Josh Downs. Thanks, fellas. Thank you, Caitlin. Mooney, Dobbs, Waddle. I'm going Mooney. Captain, what do you think? PPR pick 2. I'm gonna go with Shakir and Dowdle. Start Eckler or Chuba. I'd go Eckler. I would go Eckler, but it is close. It is close. The fuck? Where the fuck is my Josh Allen lineup? I literally just simmed to get a Josh Allen lineup. I didn't even get it. One second, guys. Tris, start Mark Andrews or Tucker Kraft. I would go with Tucker Kraft. It is very, very close. Andrews has been hot. Kraft has been hot. I think you could go either way on that, but that's just kind of how I feel. I would personally go. I would go with the Green Bay tight end. I'm gonna be so pissed because I couldn't find the Josh Allen lineup if Josh Allen goes crazy because I already know he's gonna destroy the Dolphins. This is our Colts. This is our team. We bleed blue. This is our Colts. Whether we win or lose, we love them. For the shoe. Save the Colts. Team's looking good, Tyron. Tracy Waddle, Tillman. I'd play Tillman. Moore or Myers. I would play Moore. Anything I missed? Pittman Jr. or Tillman. Mooney, Pittman, Worthy, Flowers, and Mooney for me. All right. It has locked. It is decided. All my lineups are locked. I didn't even look at them super in depth. So I'm hoping I made the right decision on my own teams. I care more about your guys' teams than my own team. That's how much I love you guys. Appreciate you guys all watching today. It means the world to me. Tracy or Chase Brown. Reed or Josh Downs. Without AR, I love the Colts. I agree. The Colts are a much better team. Good luck, everyone. Good luck, Mew3. Everyone hit that like button. Tap that subscribe button while you're at it. Yes, sir. We are currently, our subscriber goal is still 40,000 subscribers. Last time we streamed, which is Thursday, we had 38,042. We are now at 38,165. In order to hit our goal, We probably need to get to 39,000 by close to the end of November. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you're new. Like, subscribe, join the Discord. Love you guys. Eat that W. Shout out Underdog Fantasy. Promo code Notorious. Devontae Smith or Scary Terry. I would play Scary Terry. We're hitting 4K. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I love you guys. Hope you guys have a great one. I'm going to get off, pause. Hope the Dolphins can win. If not, going to be very, very sad. So I love you guys. Love you a long time. See you boys and girls on the other side. Adios, mis amigos and amigas. See you guys soon. Play some music.